Dr. Padaki?
Yes, Olivia.
Kendra Nichols is here to see you.
Send her in.
Hey, Doc.
Kendra, what a nice surprise. Shouldn't you be getting ready to cheer at the basketball finals tonight?
Yeah, but I think it might get canceled. Half the basketball team, including Dewan, is sick with some cold that's going around. But that's not why I'm here. I have a little surprise for you.
Hi, Doc.
Michael. Let me look at you. You're so grown up now.
I have to get going or I'll be late for the basketball game, but you two have fun catching up.
Thank you so much, Kendra.
Of course.
Michael Farm, after all these years, it's so great to see you.
Same. I never thought I'd see you again.
Neither did I. And here you are, right in front of me. But how did you get out of that facility?
I took your advice. You told me all I had to do was forget, so I followed Kendra's lead and pretended to lose my 3 T's. And after a year...
Let me guess. Dr. Blakely had no use for you and sent you back home to your father.
To foster care, actually.
But what happened to your...
He didn't make it, Doc. The alcohol killed him before I ever got out of the facility.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Michael.
It's okay. I've had time to process it.
So tell me everything you've been up to. When Kendra mentioned you were at her school, I couldn't believe my ears. How is it that you're even here in Austin?
Hold on to your seat, Doc. It's a long story.
Excuse me.
Hey, aren't you?
Braden Fields, yes.
From the news?
Yes, I got a call. My wife's here. Doctor.
Mr. Fields.
How is she?
She's still in a coma, but stable. We're keeping her under close observation.
I don't understand.
Right now, we believe it's pneumonia brought on by influenza.
But how?
That's the big mystery.
But she's gonna be okay, right?
We're doing all we can.
And the baby?
We're monitoring.
Meaning?
Meaning the baby's health is solely dependent on the health of your wife. But there's no cause for alarm right now.
I knew I should have flown back last night. She sounded terrible on the phone, but she was perfectly fine when I talked to her just 3 days ago.
I understand. Your neighbors found her.
Unconscious, yes. Outside. In her garden. She loves that thing.
She's in the best place now. Her vitals are still strong. We'll continue to monitor her throughout the night.
Thank you, Doctor.
All students to the library. All students to the library for an address from Mr. Bradley, the Dean of Schools. That's all students to the library.
As you know, an overwhelming amount of students and faculty are out due to what started out as a cold but has turned into the flu. We even had to cancel the championship basketball game last Friday night. But given that there are so few of you here today, we have no choice but to send you all back home today. Vanderbilt Academy will remain closed until further notice. Thank you, and stay safe.
This is beyond weird. I can't believe so many people have gotten sick so fast. I'd better tell Michael not to come to school today. Michael? Michael, are you there?
Yeah? What's up?
Where are you?
Home. Just about to leave now. My dad made me iron my school uniform today.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Oh, trust me, he insisted.
No, I mean, classes are canceled. Almost everyone in Austin is sick. It's like a ghost town here at school.
There too? It's the same in Chicago. Everything is pretty much shut down. The news here never mentioned Austin. Hi.
Jesus, Michael!
You alright?
The entrance was a bit over the top, don't you think?
I kinda like it.
A bit of a warning next time. Oh my god, seriously. How has no one ever caught you mid-teleport?
Timing. I've always been good at that.
If you say so.
Remember when I asked you if you noticed anything strange in the sky last week?
Yeah, those contrails.
Right. I wanted to show you these at lunchtime that day, but we were so busy catching up, I totally forgot.
What the...
Those were my exact words.
But this shouldn't even be possible at this altitude. Did you take these?
Yeah, developed them too. I have a dark room at home.
Was this here at school? Mackenzie mentioned she saw you with the camera.
Some of them. But some are contrails I noticed back home, in Chicago.
What do you think this is?
Do you know what the Usenet is?
I'm familiar. We learned about it in computer lit.
Well, there's a news group where people have posted about seeing low-altitude contrails all over. But these grid formations in particular are becoming more and more common since last week. But only here, Chicago, and a remote village in Africa.
So wait, are you saying these contrails have something to do with why everyone's sick?
I have a suspicion. Over the past few months, a user named Black Widow was posting warnings on the Usenet about someone planning to test the spread of a virus, starting with that village in Africa. Everyone in that village is sick, and now people are getting sick here and in Chicago.
The only places these contrails have been sighted. Do you think Black Widow could have been like a whistleblower or something?
That's a plausible hypothesis. She even wrote a message in Latin that roughly translated to, "Look up at the smoke in the sky on March 4." And that's when the first sighting in Africa happened.
That's too on target to be a mere coincidence.
But if Black Widow is a whistleblower, what company would be behind this?
Hang in there, honey. The doctors are going to fix you right up. I know it's been a week since you've been in here, but just keep fighting.
We interrupt your program with this important message from News 11.
What the?
I'm TR
Is this
Christian.
on the news?
Spread of the mysterious avian flu outbreak continues to intensify. Over 5 million people throughout Texas and Illinois are infected with this H9 variant. Current flu vaccines are proving to be ineffective against this particular strain, with many of the initial reported cases already morphing into pneumonia, with hospitalizations on the rise. The CDC currently recommends that everyone in the United States voluntarily quarantine until further notice while they continue to assess what has now become an epidemic. Although fatality rates are low, we have a confirmed 9th death here in Austin.
Holy shit.
But hope may be on the horizon. We now go live with News 11's Jeff Armstrong, who is with Pfizenica CEO, Dr. Brad Kennedy.
Dr. Kennedy, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, tell us about this vaccine. Is it true that Pfizenica already has a fully tested vaccine?
Yes, that's correct. Already packed and ready to ship. We concluded our clinical research trials about a year ago.
Trials that included this particular strain?
Including this very strain and another 150 variants that we synthesized in our labs. The participants in our clinical trials walked away with little or no symptoms in as few as 72 hours. And those who had the vaccine prior to exposure never even got sick.
So, we're looking at a cure and prevention all in one shot.
That's exactly right.
How much longer will it be before we'll see this vaccine available to those who need it?
Like I said, it's ready to go. But unfortunately, our efforts have been halted by unnecessary bureaucracy. I'd encourage everyone to contact their senators and House members to see if Congress can pressure the FDA to elevate this to the top of its priority list. Heck, I even recommend writing directly to President Bush. They couldn't hurt.
So what do you suggest Americans do to protect themselves?
Unfortunately, there really is nothing anyone can do but Load up on vitamin C and just hope they don't get sick.
Fucking bullshit! Hang in there, honey. There's already a vaccine that's going to make you all better. Just hang on.
Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. We'll have more on this story as it develops.
That's enough news for me today. This nonstop avian flu coverage for over a week is getting depressing.
Hi.
Oh my god. For God's sake, Michael. I said warning next time.
Come on. I told you I was coming over at noon, and it's 12 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah, but I wasn't sitting here staring at the clock.
Oh, so here are the printouts of the posts I've been telling you and Doc about. See if you can find any new patterns that I or that Roswell guy missed.
Latrodectus? That's cute.
What is?
That she keeps referencing Latrodectus. Her name is Black Widow.
I don't get it.
Latrodectus is the genus name for the family of spiders that the Black Widow is in.
Oh. Roswell thought it might be the code name for the project.
Well, it's still a possibility. It's not uncommon for people to name projects after their own nicknames or pets. Maybe your whistleblower was a fan of poisonous insects.
Or her nickname was Black Widow.
Huh?
Kendra, I'm going to Doc's office. Meet me there as soon as you can.
What did you figure out? Ugh. Someone's gotta teach that boy some teleportation etiquette. Hello?
Hey, Kendra.
Mac, how are you feeling?
Horrible. We're all still sick and getting worse. Mom thinks Dad needs to go to the hospital, but they've run out of hospital rooms. Kendra, he's having trouble breathing.
Oh no, I'm so sorry, Mac. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Maybe drive to Houston before it gets bad out there too?
Well, is there anything my mom and dad can do?
No. Your family has done enough with bringing us food every day. Plus, the news says we're really contagious, and we can't get y'all sick too.
Oh, right. I don't know how we've managed not to catch it yet. The whole neighborhood is down. Well, get some rest, Mackenzie. I'll check on you later.
Bye.
Bye. This is getting really scary.
The bad news is that her vital signs have weakened and her oxygen levels have depleted significantly. We're going to have to intubate immediately to protect her and the baby.
This isn't good. My wife was one of the first people to catch this flu, Doctor. Everyone who was admitted with the same symptoms before her is already dead.
Mr. Fields, the other 3 patients were also much older than your wife or had pre-existing health conditions.
What about this vaccination mentioned on the news?
You already know it's being held up by the FDA.
Well, how long does it take?
Years.
Shit. We don't have years.
Yeah, there are a lot of sick people who need that vaccine.
Crowds of hundreds of protesters are rallying outside of the Food and Drug Administration headquarters demanding that they approve the Pfizenica Labs produced vaccine for the avian flu. I'm Jeff Armstrong. Stay with us at News 11 as we bring you the latest as it unravels.
And this is the first set of contrails that started this whole thing over Africa. And the latest post from a few minutes ago says that half of those villagers are now dead.
My God, this means that if those contrails are in any way related,
a lot of people are going to start dying here in the States. And soon. I'm glad you asked me to set this computer up for you. Now you can see for yourself what I've been talking about.
Knock, knock.
Kendra, glad you could join us.
Olivia told me to come on back since there isn't an intercom in this room yet. Wow, Doc, this room is really coming along.
Yes, this is going to be where we'll start working on you controlling your 3Ts again and together this time. When we were all in that facility 10 years ago, we could never do any experiments involving both you and Michael. But now that all changes.
Speaking of Michael, why did you just rush out on me like that mid-sentence?
Oh, I had a hypothesis that I needed to test.
Well, you could have told me.
Oh, I guess you're right. I'm still not used to having friends or people that actually listen to me.
Oh, that's kind of sad, actually.
So last week, while Kendra was out of school, there was supposed to be a guest speaker in biology class.
Yeah, Dr. Sullivan. She comes every year and does a lecture on virology.
Right.
What about her?
This year, she didn't show. And Mr. Jones mentioned that she had stopped returning his calls out of the blue.
That's really no surprise. They've had this toxic long-distance thing going for years. The moment she makes Mr. Jones mad, he takes it out in his classes. That's why all his students have always referred to her as Black Widow. Michael, could it be?
Is one of you going to catch me up?
Doc, all of the printed posts I showed you that were deleted were also from a user named Black Widow.
The potential whistleblower. I remember.
Both her account and posts disappeared around the time Mr. Jones said Dr. Sullivan stopped answering his calls.
And she works for Vizenica Labs.
Ah, got it now. But if she truly is a whistleblower, why would Vizenica Labs be behind this? They prevent infectious diseases.
And they were just on the news complaining about the FDA holding up the vaccine they created.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But that other user named Roswell said he thought he figured out who Black Widow really is, but he isn't going to tell me until he's 100% sure. If he also thinks that Black Widow and Jesse Sullivan are one and the same, then we're definitely onto something.
Should you send him a message? Tell him your theory?
I thought about it, but he usually doesn't respond until 3 in the morning, and we need answers now.
3 a.m.? What's he doing all day?
He said he hangs out in a place called Penn Valley Park in Kansas City, recording the sky with his camcorder. We've got to go, Kendra.
Where to?
Kansas City, of course. And I'm taking my camera.
You're crazy. But I haven't tried teleporting yet. I can barely move an apple.
Just hold on to me.
This isn't a good idea, Michael. While I trust your ability to teleport the two of you safely, it's far too risky for you and Kendra to both be seen in the same place at the same time.
Doc, no one is going to know who we are way in Kansas City.
Besides, Dr. Blakely hasn't seen us since we were 6 years old. And if he's smart, he should be quarantined.
What if someone sees you teleporting?
I figured out how to teleport when I was 7, and no one has caught me yet.
You're going to do this anyway, aren't you?
Probably.
Fine. But be careful.
We will, Doc. Always. Come on, Kendra. Hold on tight.
Whew, I'm a little nervous.
Don't be.
Wow, that was crazy. It felt exactly how I remember when I ended up in Germany. But next time, can we at least have a countdown?
Of course.
I have to admit, your placement is impeccable. We're completely out of view.
This is how I've never gotten caught.
Holy shit. Michael, look up at the sky.
What? It's those contrails again. They haven't been spotted for over a week. Why are they here?
Maybe whoever's behind this is only getting started.
This can't be good. If those contrails are behind this, they're speeding up the spread.
Michael, look. Guy with a camcorder, 9 o'clock.
Huh. Looks like we found our guy. Time to say hello.
But what are you gonna say to him? Are you gonna introduce yourself as the guy from the Usenet?
Nah. I told him I lived in Chicago. He's the suspicious type, so it's best I don't. Just follow my lead. Excuse me.
Yeah?
Does, Roswell mean anything to you?
Only the home of one of the biggest cover-ups in American history. What about it?
No, I mean, the username, Roswell. Like from the Usenet.
Who wants to know that? Why are you acting so nervous?
Oh, because we're big fans of all your posts. We love the deductions you've been making about these contrails, and we wanted to tell you how much we admire your work. We knew it was you since you said you like recording the sky with your camcorder at this park, so we wanted to say hi.
Oh, yeah. You got me. It's me, Roswell.
Don't suppose you know who's behind them yet? The contrails, I mean?
Depends on which ones you're talking about. I've been studying these things for years, and, well, different patterns do different things. The one up there now, it gets people sick. Y'all heard about that avian flu in Texas and Illinois?
Yeah, it's all over the news.
Well, add Missouri to the list. And it ain't no birds behind this flu either. You can thank that thing right up there. That's my theory, at least. Some of them make one pattern, and all you get is a bit of snow. But I've linked others to floods and even hurricanes. This is the first one I'd unseen that's outright killing people with a virus.
Right. Well, we think those posts by Black Widow that mysteriously disappeared are linked to this whole thing.
I do too.
We even kind of think we know who Black Widow truly is.
Oh? Who?
Dr. Jesse Sullivan from Vizenica Labs.
Huh. I guess I'm not the only smart one around here.
So you think so too?
I know so. And was.
Was?
Jessie Sullivan was Black Widow. She ain't no more because she's dead.
Dead?
Don't nobody know what happened to her, but she died on Monday this week. At least according to that obituary that I read in the New York Times.
Wow, I wasn't expecting to hear that.
Truth be told, I think the same folks who silenced her on the Usenet silenced her in real life.
Hey, Roswell, do you think Vizenica Labs is behind this?
I do. But any evidence you'd find for that, well, it'd be in just two places. Vizenica's headquarters, and good luck there. And that little private airport south of here. The planes that left the contrails up, they flew back to that airport just half an hour ago.
Brayden, what are you doing here?
I need to get on the air.
Brayden, you should be with your wife.
She's dead.
What?
An hour ago.
Brayden, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I have to go on the air.
Brayden, you should be at home taking care of yourself, at least.
I promised my wife that she would get better, but she didn't. Now I am going to plead with the FDA myself to approve the vaccine that could have saved her and my child's life. No one else should ever have to experience what I'm going through right now.
Which of those airplanes could be responsible?
I'm no aviation expert, but look over there. The ones in that hangar look similar to the ones I've been seeing when I'm taking pictures.
What should we do? We can't exactly teleport closer.
Why not?
Because then we'd be in plain view where all the workers are.
Give me a sec. The coast is clear.
What was that?
What was what?
You can see through walls?
No. It's similar to remote viewing. I'll explain later. And here we are. See anything out of the ordinary?
Like the two crazy teenagers sneaking around?
Funny.
Is that out of the ordinary enough for you?
That's a lot of exhausts. It's almost like they're attaching new exhausts to the planes after every flight.
I didn't think they were meant to be detached and reattached like this.
There are so many of them.
Look, there's an etching of a spider on them.
Latrodectus! Kendra, this is it.
I've lost my wife. My unborn child. She would have been a girl. This is why I beg the FDA to approve Vizenica's flu vaccine before any more lives are lost. Braden Fields, signing off.
That was a clip of our own Braden Fields publicly pleading with the FDA to approve the vaccine created by Vizenica Labs after the passing of his wife hours ago.
This needs to stop.
Hey, sorry we're late. We stopped by Michael's to develop the pictures he took.
Doc, wait until you see this.
Everything okay, Doc?
Yeah, fine. Braden Fields' wife just died from that flu.
The reporter from the news? That's horrible.
He a friend of yours?
No, he's just a legend around here.
Did you two find anything interesting during your outing?
Yeah, more than we could have ever imagined. Take a look at these pictures.
More contrails?
Spotted in Kansas City while we were there.
And what's this?
These are the exhausts being attached to the planes at the airport. Someone is replacing them after every flight. And they all had an etching of that spider on them.
A Black Widow.
You're definitely onto something. But how did you get this close to these exhausts?
The usual way?
Come again?
You know.
Don't tell me.
We were careful.
That's not the point.
No one saw us.
When you left, you said you were going to a park. We still don't know who's behind this yet.
We're sorry, Doc. I guess we got caught up in the moment.
Who is this character? Did this man see you?
Oh, that's Roswell.
Michael just took a picture of him from a distance.
And did he share your hypothesis about Jessie Sullivan?
Yeah, he did, but... Doc, Jessie Sullivan is dead.
What?
On Monday, Roswell saw an obituary for her in the New York Times this week. I guess we all missed it because we haven't been in school for any kind of announcement there.
And get this, Roswell also thinks Vizenica is behind this and that Jessie Sullivan was the whistleblower. But what's their motive?
I just thought of something. You don't suppose Pfizenica created this virus solely as a means to profit from the vaccine?
I just saw some bigwig from Pfizenica on the news, touting that they have the only known cure for this flu strain. He didn't come across as the trustworthy type.
Meanwhile, there's public pressure for the FDA to rush the vaccine through the approval process to the market.
Which would lead to billions of dollars in profit due to the mass hysteria.
Doc, I think you're onto something.
But if this is true, then it's truly inhumane.
Speaking of Pfizenica, look at the TV.
Doc, can you turn the volume up?
Broadcast with breaking news. We've just been informed that Pfizenica Labs has begun receiving approvals for its avian flu vaccine from governing bodies around the world just minutes ago. We go live to Pfizenica Labs headquarters in New York, where a press conference is in progress.
The vaccine will start shipping to all medical providers in the United States starting tonight. Our overseas offices will handle international shipments to prevent offshore spread. Starting tomorrow, everyone around the world should be able to start receiving the vaccination. Pfizenica would like to thank everyone who contacted the FDA regarding this vaccine. Hopefully, this will cause them to rethink their outdated approval process.
That was Dr. Brad Kennedy from Pfizenica Labs in New York. It looks like the world can finally start breathing a sigh of relief.
Part of me is happy that this is almost going to be over, but another part of me is sick to my stomach that Pfizenica Labs may have killed a bunch of people on purpose just to make money.
What if we somehow got our hands on all of the evidence and finished what Dr. Sullivan started by leaking it to the press ourselves?
How would we do that?
Well, Roswell said all the evidence was in 2 places, and we've already been to the airport. Who's up for a trip to Pfizenica's headquarters?